Conor Benn left via email. No sit down with Eddie Hearn. AJ never came close to that. So here's a question when we talk about Conor Benn. Was it friendship or was it just business? Or was it a combination of both? You could make an argument that Eddie Hearn's loyalty went beyond business. He put his credibility on the line. I know some people are joking and saying Eddie Hearn doesn't have credibility, but he clearly does. He has leverage, he has expertise, and in the boxing world, he has massive credibility. And he put that on the line. Conor taking the money from Zuffa, to me, is not the issue. Conor Benn is supposed to negotiate the best deal. Perhaps it's the action he took or the action he didn't take. The face-to-face would have been essential in terms of handling things in a mature way. I don't know why Conor Benn didn't engage with this face-to-face. Maybe he has a justifiable reason. I'm not sure. But I think there's a question of, if business is just business and it's just ruthless, it's just snakes and ladders, then conducting yourself in an ethical way doesn't matter. But if ethics do matter, and if conduct matters, and if being a gentleman matters, if someone stands by you, then you have that conversation. Remember, it's about being ethical to people that have been ethical with you. If someone snaked you, then you have no moral obligation. That makes sense. But if someone stands by you, and then you're going to make a transition, you're going to change direction, then ethically it feels you owe that person an explanation. You owe that person a conversation. Perhaps from Conor Benn's perspective, he stands by himself. He is kind of portraying himself like the bad guy. He's kind of reveling over that. I wonder for Conor, what's more important? What does he value more? The money or the loyalty? Or does he simply see it through the filter that this is just business? I guess from Eddie Hearn's perspective, for him, when he stood by Conor, was that just business or was that a friendship? Idea number 8. Frank says more fighters leaving the Zuffa money or leaving for Zuffa money is going to happen again. Zuffa, which I believe the figurehead of Zuffa, the face behind Zuffa, or one of the faces is Dana White. And Zuffa has large resources in boxing and in life in general. Money talks, let's be honest. In capitalism, money speaks volumes. In capitalism, money shouts. And Zuffa's money is attracting many different boxers. I guess the important thing to consider is what happens in the end if Zuffa gets a stranglehold or a monopoly into boxing's infrastructure. Idea number 9, UFC fighters take 17 to 90% revenue versus boxers 60 to 70% revenue. I didn't understand what this meant at first, and then I broke it down. So this is my understanding. So example 1, so UFC, their event revenue means 100 million, fighters receive 18%, that's 18 million. And therefore UFC keeps 82 million to cover costs, invest in the business and generate profit. Where in the example 2 of boxing, the event revenue is 100 million, the boxers receive 65%, that's 65 million, and promoters keep 35 million before paying event costs and other expenses. So in a sense, what we're seeing here is that UFC keeps more money for the platform. And what's important to decipher, is this a good thing or is it a bad thing? In a sense, when we look at boxing, we see the larger share, the 65%. But it's important to remember that that 65% is mainly disseminated among the 1%. So it's not shared equally, which makes sense in a meritocracy because the boxers with the biggest brand get paid more. But when you look at that without context, it makes boxing's infrastructure look much, much more favorable. But I think when you break down the nitty gritty and the minor details, I'm not saying it creates a different outcome, but I think the nuance here is really important. And it's a good question. Which infrastructure is more ethical, UFC or boxing? Idea number 10, Dana White reportedly fixates on attacking Eddie Hearn specifically. The question you have to ask yourself is why? This is my perspective. This is perhaps because attacking Eddie Hearn is free promotion. It's massive promotion. If you attack Eddie Hearn responds, and then you get all those promotions. So when Eddie Hearn is generating hundreds of thousands of views, maybe millions of views, he's promoting the Zuffa machine, and he's also promoting his own machine. He's marketing for everyone. And like I said, Eddie Hearn responds because it's additional promotion. He is a willing participant in this verbal battle. The promotion, what does it do? It builds both platforms. It continues to build Matchroom, and it continues to build Zuffa, and it creates a new algorithm for Zuffa, which is starting to develop, and it continues to build on the Matchroom algorithm, and perhaps it creates a separate algorithm of Zuffa and Matchroom. The point here is that this is marketing, this is promotion, and when you're selling a product or selling a service, marketing is essential.